Hi, now is the newspaper time. So today is, let me check, 23rd of February. Tomorrow is Independence Day in Estonia. Independence which was announced 1918 on 24th of February, so tomorrow. So most of the news goes around the Independence Day. On the first page there is an headline that is that the country we wanted to make? Is Estonia the country we wished for? And about the future of energy. So on the second page there is an article about the news 100 years ago, and they draw a conclusion that the products were more or less, which were advertised, were more or less the same, and the news were also, the people's problems were very similar than these days. That there was an ad back then that somebody's horse was stolen, and even when the war was imminent, people had problems, like they wanted to buy a piano and these kind of things, down to earth issues, and buying soap. So there is a big 2 pages article about is that the country Estonians wanted to make, and there's interview with with 6 people, from the youngest to the oldest, from 19-year-old boy until 90-year-old man, and all of them are happy with the result up until now. So on page number 6 there is information that because of the coronavirus, this year the celebrations for the Independence Day will be completely different. Usually people go to Big Herman, where they put up the flag early in the morning, and later there is a parade with machinery and like soldiers. But this year everything is cancelled. There will be the flag ceremony, but people will not be able to attend. I will post here a video so you can see the last year's flag ceremony. And this year there will be no parade, but a flyover, because flyover with aircrafts of NATO planes. So there is an interview with one of the pilots. There you go. One of the pilots who says that it is secret who of them will have the honor to fly over instead of the parade, and he writes a little bit about his life in Estonia, that they are not allowed to have any contact with the locals because of the coronavirus. So they go to work, then go back to the hotel, and he wishes that when this is over, and maybe some day in the future, he would come back as a tourist when the coronavirus, everything is over, so he can take a really good look and speak with local people. So on page number 8 is a small article concerning one of our former ministers, Minister of Culture or Education, Meelis Reps, who is now under criminal investigation for appropriating state property. Now even she took a coffee machine to her home. So this is kind of this saga is unfortunate. Everything started with journalists investigating how she used a government car to transport her children, and then she resigned from the ministry post, and now this saga continues. That is a good pointer for a would-be politician in Estonia, that it's not worth it. It's better to be honest and not to take anything which is not yours. So it's a kind of, I still think it's a positive thing. It's a good sign for the future politicians. That and we are not like in Russia or somewhere else that you can take as much as you can carry and nothing happens to you. In Estonia you will get busted. Also, one more interesting small article, that the salt on the road is attracting wild animals. So big mooses and all kind of animals, they when it's white and they spray this salt for the roads to keep them ice free, they are attracted by the salt, and that's why very dangerous accidents can happen. So you have to watch out when you're driving in Estonia during the winter. Watch out for animals and try not to drive in the twilight time. So either completely dark or during the day. But the twilight time is the most difficult, most dangerous. Also, there is an article that from Sahara Desert, obviously dust will come to Estonia too. So we are expecting yellow snow. Also, Estonian company is now testing air cleaning device, personal air cleaning device. So you have a collar here on your neck. I don't know if you can see it. You see? So it works like you have a collar on your neck and it's going to filter the air. It's not very clear if it filters the air which I'm going to breathe, or it filters out the air which I'm exhaling. This is not clear, but obviously it does not cover your face. It has like a plexiglass thing, so you can talk normally with people. So I'll try to show you one more time. I don't know if you can see it. Here. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about that invention? Also, on the same page, that NASA is preparing for bringing people to Mars. Interesting. Also, some international news about former Spain dictators and king. News about Armenia. Obviously, Armenians are tightening up their laws, so you cannot say anything bad about the government. Bad idea. So there is the economics page, page number 12. This is what we're looking for. So TransferWise, you know, this company which made very cheap international transfers between different currencies, is changing its name. Now it's going to be just Wise. I like this company. It's a huge company, good idea, good execution. Go-wise, I've used it too, and it's amazing. When they made the transfer, like it was instantaneous. It was like I didn't see, I hadn't seen such a quick transfer before. But afterwards, the e-band transfer also became quite quick. So I really used it only once, but I don't need to transfer money between different currencies. We just do an e-band transfer, and it's also like instantaneous. So there's also a big article, Sandor Live, one like a person, and Fermi Energia. They have this discussion that Estonia has to have this nuclear power plant, and they are doing some initial research, and they're trying to press this idea forward. But I don't think it's a good idea, because even if you can make cheap energy, what are you going to do with the waste? And he says, okay, we can bury it deep underground, but sooner or later it's going to be a problem. In 1,000 years it's a problem, and those companies, lifetime of those companies, like 20-30 years something. They're not going to deal with the nuclear waste, so they don't care. I don't think it's a good idea. And in the same newspaper, little bit few pages afterwards, they're also saying that better to try to have more renewable energy, and that it is possible to have 100% energy relying only on renewable energy. And so I'll read you some countries which use 100% renewable energy. Albania, 100% hydro energy with dams and water. Congo, Paraguay. So that's really illustrating that nuclear energy is bullshit. Not in Estonia, I do not support that. And it's better to have wind. We have wind, sun, and you just have to store some of the energy for some time, so you have it when it's not sunny and the wind is not blowing. Also energy from the sea, and we can still burn a little bit of the wood, which does not which is not used for furniture or something more elaborate. Also we have gas, but at the moment Estonia is really if you see in the charter, like most of the energy comes from coal burning plants, and in Estonia we are really cautious. We have gas from Russia, but because you don't ever know what mood is going to be in Russia, we don't want to rely on Russian produce. We have had our bad experience with that, but maybe yes, some investments need to be done for energy in Estonia. But thank God, lately there have been online quite a lot of wind generators, and there are programs for producing electricity from the sun. So I think we're okay with that. There is a big interview with a photographer, Kaupo Kikas. And about sports. And on the last page, it's really interesting article that Estonian family physician says that We might have to be prepared that the old ways are not coming back. He means that this kind of viruses can be an ongoing problem, and the virus situation is going to be solved when 2/3 of the population is vaccinated. So we have a long way to go. I also think that yes, don't focus on going back to the world as it was before the coronavirus. It has changed in a very deep way, so whatever was before, you just forget it. Go ahead with some new plan. Okay, that's it from me. Subscribe, like, share, and see you in the next video.